Hey everyone, this is Michael with the general reading intended for Libra Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for the month of August 2020. Welcome, whether you're watching this for yourself or cross-watching for another individual with Libra placements. I do have the astrology blog, which is linked down below for those of you who would like a more comprehensive look at the astrology I will be referencing throughout your reading today. It's just a great way to kind of understand what's happening for the collective right now. I'm not gonna lie, for the next few months, we're kind of in some interesting energy. I don't think that should be a surprise to anyone at this point, especially for 2020. The whole year has really been quite something, hasn't it? But that is available to you. It's a great way to learn the astrology as well. I do have a list of all those aspects and transits I will be referencing, and they will all be listed by date at the end of the blog, so it's another good way to kind of reference what's happening each day and kind of learning about what those transits mean. I do also have links for personal readings and Reiki sessions for those who are interested in some assistance in their own lives. I also have links to all of my social media accounts where I post updates, announcements, occasionally do giveaways, offer sales. I'll do random readings from time to time as well. So it's just a good way to stay on my radar and in the loop with what I am doing. And as I'm shuffling here, I do also want to thank all of you who have supported this channel with your likes, shares, comments, and subscribes. It's with all of you I am able to continue doing this work, and it's just been such a blessing to be able to have this and give back in this way during this time, during this challenge, and I really, really appreciate it. So thank you so, so much. And I hope that you appreciate these messages as well, and that they give you something to kind of reflect on. So what are the messages for Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus? Show me clearly. And we're looking at the first half of August here. Ooh. Interesting. So, we have the 10 of Cups, the 7 of Pentacles, and then you have the Mother of Wands with the Emperor together. Some of you may be dealing with an Aries energy, for sure. Could also be a fire sign, Leo or Sagittarius. And there's a lot of happiness here with this 10 of Cups, but it may feel like the 7 of Pentacles makes it feel like it's further away than it actually is. We started off this month with a Libra full moon, or I'm sorry, an Aquarius full moon, which for you, Libra, is in your 5th house. Your house of pleasure, your house of passion and creativity. We were in Cancer season where there was a big emphasis on your career. And there still is this focus with Venus in Cancer as well. But you're really coming into your power with this Emperor energy. And for some of you, there may have been a change in your social circle. But this is ultimately you building something for the future. You creating happiness for your future self. And with this Mother of Wands, you're figuring out what is most dear to you. Holding on to your magic, holding these eggs close, this creative element that you have. Some of you may be working for yourself or working on a project that brings you a lot of passion. And there could be a lot of harmony as well. These changes that are happening around you don't necessarily need to be negative. It could be bringing people closer together. But I'm still getting kind of this bittersweet impression here. Whether you've achieved this Ten of Cups or it still is something that you are building and working very diligently towards, it doesn't quite hit the mark. It doesn't quite hit the way or register the way you thought it would. As for the animals coming up so far, we have the crow and the hummingbird. And there's definitely a message here with crow. And actually, this is very specific. I feel like you're connecting to someone who is departed. This may actually be more towards the middle of the month, around, I want to say it's the 15th, August 15th, when Uranus goes retrograde in Taurus, in your 8th house, which is the house of death, of mystery, of joint finances, power. I feel like around the middle of the month, you're connecting to somebody. Because the crow and hummingbird are both creatures that I connect with the other side. And connecting to this spiritual aspect, the spiritual element. There is a lot of sweetness here with hummingbird. There really, really is. And you may be so focused on what it is you're doing or what it is that you're trying to build that you're forgetting to see this around you. Or forgetting to connect to people or do the things that bring you joy. Some of you could be starting a relationship with an Aries or building something with a partner, building a life together. And maybe there's realities now where it's not exactly what you thought it was. Sometimes when I see the Ten of Cups, we often think of this as almost a fairy tale ending. And it can be quite romanticized, but the truth is the Ten of Cups has this rainbow imagery. And in the traditional card, there is this couple with their house and their 2 kids, their dog, you know, the perfect life, whatever that looks like to you. And in the background, there's this rainbow, which means that there was a storm in the moments before that scene. And it required work. It was difficult. It was challenging. And maybe you're building something and you're still in this storm. But you're building something very beautiful for yourself, and I believe it's also bringing in somebody else too. You're making space for this person in whatever it is that you're creating or working on. So let's take a look at the second half of August now. Very quick to pop out here. We have the Strength card and the Chariot card. Cancer and Leo energy. Could be cusp energy here if we're dealing with an individual. This really does take your commitment to move forward, okay? With the Strength card, you really need to have a strong sense of emotional composure. Because what makes this lion strong isn't this ferocity, this drive, which you definitely have. It's this patience and gentleness. Overcoming this animalistic nature. And with the Chariot, you do have this drive. You do have this willingness to move forward. And you will. But this isn't feeling like an issue that you can just power through as quickly as possible. Your strength is your endurance. And maybe taking it easy on yourself, being gentle with yourself as you're creating this life. But you're coming in very strong. And it could even be towards the end of this month that you start making progress here. You have this victory, you have this glory. And you're stronger for it. You're stronger for the challenge. You're stronger for weathering the storm. And it just takes time. The world, oh my God. Big new cycles opening up for you. And you needing to open up to the world as well. Your hard work is going to pay off, Libra. Whatever it is that you're working towards, even if you don't see the benefit right away, it is coming. And that could also be this relationship. And you are walking away from things that are no longer serving you with this Five of Swords. Or going your separate ways with some people. And looking at this art here, this worm that's being severed in half, we should remember that this is an animal that regenerates. And these two halves are able to go on in their own direction, their own way. And maybe even reconvene. I do feel like there are some chapters that are closing here. You may be leaving a situation behind, going towards something new. And it feels very positive overall. And I feel like if you are in a relationship with someone or you are connecting with someone, it feels very independent, but it actually feels healthy. And that's not normally how I read this card, but I see this image of these two halves, almost like a twin flame, but it operates very healthfully. I think there's a lot of mythos and romance around a twin flame or a soulmate, where you have to come together, you have to, work on this mission together. And the reality is, you are able to do this yourself or with somebody else too. It's not about being codependent on each other. It's beautiful when there's this coalescing, when there's this natural coming back together, but it doesn't have to be from this place of unhealthy attachment. And you might be just detaching from the way that you think things have to be looking right now. What is the animal wisdom for Libra for the second half of August? Fox. Interesting. A long-term partnership, potentially. Foxes do mate for life, but they are sort of slippery and elusive creatures. So this may be describing a relationship where it takes time for things to build. You might need to reach out to this person. They might be a little bit aloof because there's something going on in their life, or there's a little guardedness. This could also be talking about this opportunity, where there's this opportunity that shows up and then it kind of slips away, or it seems like it slips away, and you're following it, and it's taking longer for it to materialize in your life, but you are tapping into this magic here. And I was gonna say, you'll know the right person is coming in, or you've met the right person when you're doing what you love, or living the life you love, and it's compatible with them living the life they love. And a lot of the time, that's why I think the twin flame kind of ideology can get dangerous. Because we feel like we can't live that life until there's somebody else there. There's that kind of implicit meaning. Or we can't live into our purpose without that person. And it's almost like in you following this purpose, in you following this fox, and this person following theirs, you come back together. There's this reconvening. And maybe for some of you there is a separation that's going on, but it feels temporary, or there's some distance between you and this person. But they feel very strong, and you feel very strong. You're gaining your strength. And maybe they still are too. But you don't have to choose between one or the other. You don't have to choose between yourself, your calling, and another person. Some of you may be moving or trying to move, especially to a different part of the world. Or a different part of the country. Obviously, in a pandemic, this is going to be pretty challenging. But I have a lot of moving cards, so that might be something that's happening for you as well. But I'm specifically feeling like a vast distance. At least for some of you. And this is a general reading, so that's not going to apply to all, but there's this big move, and I feel like you will make it, but it's just going to take time. And you have the Four of Pentacles. You will gain something materially from this, or something is going to come to fruition, but you don't need to hold on. And maybe that's kind of this thing with the Five of Swords. It's okay to let things go. You don't have to try and control things or keep it all in one place. Financially, things might be feeling a little uncertain, but you seem secure overall. And I keep hearing the word trust for some reason. And trust is something that takes time to build. But it feels almost like a financial trust for some reason. That's interesting. Some of you might be inheriting something, some sort of money. especially with Uranus in your 8th house. That's possible. And it might even open some doors for you, but that's just coming in. But just have trust, have faith. You're weathering the storm. And those are all the messages I have for you, Libra. I do hope that this was helpful. Be sure to hit like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments down below what this storm is, what this delay is, what you're trying to create, or what this relationship I'm describing is. And I do have links for personal readings and Reiki sessions for those of you who would like to purchase that from me. And I will see you all in the next video. Take care, Libra.